I'm extremely participative. You will not sit, and you will probably not sleep. But if you like, you can sleep. I'm not saying you can't sleep.
Yes, no
but
way to sleep with you.
it will be very difficult. Because I think this is a fun topic. Now, I do have 39 slides. If we get past slide 5, I might be surprised.
So we can interrupt you at any time.
At any time, and interrupt each other. I like that because I think we learn from that disruptivity, okay? At least I know I do. I think you probably do too. Parts are a little bit disjointed, but I tried my best, Najib, to pull it all together. So is training education? Is education training? And I live in both worlds.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ready. I'm going to try not to answer the question, and why not? In my perspective, intellectual perspective, it's not an opinion, just the way I see it according to this concept. Education and training have no relationship as general and special as to say is. One is mean and the other is end. So the way I see it, you don't have to see it in the same way. The way I see it is training is one of the different means we use for education.
Okay.
So education is not training and training is not education.
Okay. All right, so I have a little question for you here. So Jay Cross has this little question to ask you. If your 16-year-old daughter told you she was going to take a sex ed course, would you be pleased? Would you be pleased if she told you? Yeah. Okay, great. Now, what if she announced she was going to take part in some sex training at school? I thought this was very good, and I thought you might appreciate it. So you can start to see already what the differences are. So education, I think all about that learning theory. I teach a graduate class in learning theory, and oh, I try to breathe life into it. Probably the best videos to help people understand learning theory are from Big Bang Theory. The show, because many of those little clips exemplify different types of learning theory. So it makes the course interesting, and the students get it straight away. So the whole idea, perhaps, of learning English, where's the English professor? Okay, she's not here. But the whole idea of learning English is to steep yourself in English and work in English. She talked about having to spend hours, weeks and weeks preparing and writing and rewriting. That's education. That's not training. You know, we're not talking about a tech writer who's just writing out steps how to do something within a program. This is education she's using to develop learning. Other subjects you might be, I'm sorry?
I would say this is another means of educating.
Of course, of course. So other subjects you might learn right from the beginning that really are embedded in theory, you know, certainly physics, mathematical sciences. This is education that you're moving forward. It's not training. So education defined by educators, learning in the classroom to acquire knowledge, and okay, we'll get to it, but it could be an online classroom too. People learn in online classrooms.
The example that you're giving, I would say they are instruction, not training.
Okay. I'll remain calm.
You told me to do that. I'm doing what you told me. So
That's fine.
three terms, education, instruction, and training.
I know, and I really didn't even address instruction. I just stuck with education and with training, but instruction, it's like another dimension, truly.
Here's something that might help to resolve this. If we look at education in terms of inductive logic and training in terms of deductive logic,
yeah.
that is, deductive logic, you're dealing with what's already known. So if I'm training somebody, I've got stuff that the person already knows, and I'm telling them how to whatever. Education basically is you're acquiring knowledge, and some more of a methodological oriented type of thing. You're getting ideally, that's what you do in deductible. I use the data points
Slide
in
5.
order to find out
It's
what
okay.
the rest of it is.
Slide 5.
Jeremy and Logic, please.
No, no, it's okay. Okay.
She
I encourage this. It's good. We're going to move forward. It's okay. It's okay. Está bien. It's fine. No, 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 no. It's fine.
she named
I meant it.
her
I meant
title
it.
debate.
I meant it, truly.
The
I meant
word
it.
was debate. So we are
Okay.
trying to make a debate according to her.
That's what I want. That's what I want. Okay, but I think education, we're talking about critical thinking. We're talking about reasoning. Training, we're not emphasizing these kinds of things. It's a different modality. It's very different. When I've been a trainer...
It's so hard for you to say a different means to achieve an objective. And education requires different means, not just one.
No, but I'm saying training is a different modality. We work in a different way. We have different end goals. I'm going to get to the end goals. It's different. It's different. Okay, so training. Training, here it is, learning by doing, and it's clearly defined. Education is not so clearly defined. When we're talking about critical thinking, when we're talking about reasoning, we're thrown into that pond and you tell a kid, go swim, the kid might not be able to figure it out. But if the kid's taking the swimming lesson and you're training the child to swim, it's a different story. You would...
Education, you can define it in 3 words. Prepare the kid for life.
Okay. Well, but Najib, see, I don't agree, because training, you put the kid in the deep end of the pool, you want the kid to swim, that's prepare the kid for life too, life or death.
Yes, I know.
But that's not education, that's training.
Yeah, no, it's training, but it's a way to educate him in that aspect.
Okay, we're getting cloudy.
It's a mean. There is a confusion between mean and ends.
Could you put the definitions into the context of people's learning styles? And I'll do a bipartite one. When you're introduced to a computer, there seem to be 2 kinds of people. One kind pushes the buttons until something works.
Kinesthetic.
The second kind reads the manual.
Read, write, learn.
How would you describe that in terms of education or training? Is the person who's experimenting educating himself or herself? Is the person reading the manual training himself in how to use it, or vice versa? And there are other styles as well. There used to be one called the physicist style work, in which you are presented with the test problem and you think about it until you have a brilliant flash of insight. That was a recognized way of doing it. Then there is the engineering cut and paste.
But I don't think you can take learning styles per se, and Janine's going to talk to us about Gardner. I don't think you can take learning styles per se and apply those and say, okay, if you're using this style, it would be training versus that style is education. I don't know that it would be that neat.
I had a colleague who said that he took the courses for the grade and forgot about the content afterwards, which is another style of getting through things. And I had
And so that was part of his education. I'd like to know your feedback on that.
No, I wouldn't say it as part, but as a mean for education. As one different means.
Was that course education or was that course training?
Requires many means.
But was that course education or was that course training if the person took that just to get the grade and get through the program?
That was the Soviet style ethics we heard about this morning.
It's one of the means to get education, but you cannot exclude other means. You see what I mean?
Here's the problem with your definition. Supposing I'm teaching computer science
Right?
as part of a computer science degree. No one would call that training, but it fits your definition that it's imparting specific skills. Now, maybe you want to say train. I mean, now that I'm seeing where you're going, there are 2 ways to define it. You
Well, wait a minute, but
You are
think
talking
about like,
mental training, but mental
But-
training is not memory. Mental training is not to instruct about how to solve a theorem that someone else proved it.
Writing is
The real mental training is to get the student to create the demonstration, not just to instruct him what the demonstration is.
and to problem solve.
But I'm talking about the object of what's being taught. What's being taught itself is already known. But what in terms of learning, you're going after stuff that it's kind of like you're going after stuff that really not known. You're learning a lot of techniques, obviously, and you're learning all your theorems and stuff like that. But you may be winding up developing something out of piano's postulate that's not there anymore. Not there, new postulate. That would be learning. But learning the postulates themselves is training. But learning how to go
Application is education.
Going after something that may not be
So-
there, that's learning.
You're saying on Bloom's taxonomy,
Right.
education of knowledge is training, and education for application, which I think is only Bloom level 2, is education. That's not very meaningful because in any education course, I think what you're trying to do is look at a definition and fit everything to it. If I teach calculus, if I teach writing, if I teach computer science, in all these cases, I am assessing the student's progress through the course
Right.
through a collection of skills, including problem-solving skills.
Right.
So I don't think you could say training is skills and education is something else. Perhaps, I mean, and in my understanding, because I've taken several things that are called training, training is when you stuff a whole course into 2 days. So I've taken a course in, heaven knows, in certain computer things, and you spend a week, 8 hours a day learning something that's training because there's no time to sit back, reflect, to take some tests. But it can't just be skills, because as I said, if you look at calculus, if you look at writing, depending how you teach it, I saw one book that teaches writing by saying, here are the skills you need to combine sentences. Here are the skills, here are 5 of them. Here are the skills you need to combine paragraphs. There are 4 of them. So I'm teaching people a collection, and the exercises train the people to do these skills. And then at the end, you give the person a theme topic, like a wonderful day in Orlando.
But see, that's the difference. In the end, you give the person the theme topic, and you say, okay, apply what it is you've done here, and then it's making the connections.
Training course also. I give a course
It's different.
in a language. I train them on the job and say to complete the certificate and go into your job, I'm going to give you a problem you haven't seen and apply it. I'm not saying there's no difference between training and education. I'm saying the difference can't be whether the course ends with a project or whether you're teaching skills. You're always teaching skills, and they're always specific.
Okay, so they're connected. There's a connection.
They're the
Connected
same.
dialectically.
And that's fine. That's fine.
They're the same. I don't see a difference yet.
You don't see a difference.
No.
Do you see a difference?
The only difference I see is one of them is mean and the other end, and you never should confuse the meant with the end, because in my opinion, this is just an opinion, please don't anyone get offended about that. In my opinion, one of the way that you can corrupt your intellect is to confuse mean with ends.
What would happen if I'm teaching as an end processes? How to think. The end of my teaching is to tell you, teach you how to think. That is a means of acquiring knowledge. That's critical thinking. That is process-oriented and pure process. So my end in teaching you anything is to get you to do those processes. That's the object of my teaching you.
Okay, maybe I should say, I'm talking about
That's
a
education.
system approach of education. Probably I should say that I should, according to this approach, I should differentiate between means and ends.
Okay.
So probably I should add to what I said that, but my perspective is the systemic one.
Your output is opposed
Okay.
to processes.
So probably from another perspective, you can arrive to other conclusions. I just arrived to this kind of things because of the difference I found here.
Conversation.
So
Of
maybe
course.
the perspective is a systemic one, and no one will share it with me, or few people will share it.
No, but I think it's got to be inclusive. Look, here we're talking about training. Training has to be part of education. Would you want an accountant? Would you want a lawyer? Would you want a medical doctor? Anyone who isn't trained?
But you have to be trained to use the skills in order to acquire the knowledge, which is education. It's like
That's it.
acquire cognitive back inductively. Maybe other data points I may not even aware of. So I use the training in order to get education in the back.
No, no, it's fine.
What we might, the distinction, we might be having
It's good.
problems because it might be our culture that has made education almost entirely cerebral, except in places where it clearly involves the body's movement.
What about computers? Computers is not cerebral. You're
But so you are doing it, and the same with medical training. You have to do things. But I think that, for instance, with ethics, it's gotten to be like thinking exercises without actually living them and putting yourself in the situations. And everything that you do does involve the creating the whole neural pathways. And the neural pathways need to be there in order to move. And when you move, then you get into different situations and you see things from a different viewpoint. So it might be that our understanding of education has become impoverished.
It could be.
I agree with you 100%.
I'm going to put this presentation up for everyone to see. And it really was my full intent to have some type of discourse and talk about it. And I think that the next time around, it's, education and training and instruction, and to address each one, to look at them systemically and perhaps come up with a model. But I did, in my title, include a couple other elements that I just wanted to get through quickly. And this I thought was just phenomenal. E-learning market to reach $107 billion by 2015. That was 2015. This is the most recent data I could find. $107 billion, so we can't ignore it. Because I know Najib, really enjoys online learning and, having students graduate with online degrees. I know he's grinding his teeth.
No, I agree with you. And this time, e-learning is a necessary condition.
It's
necessary, but it's not sufficient.
That's
my problem.
But I have to tell you, some people do it well. How many of you here teach online? Okay. You have colleagues who do it well, and you have colleagues who do it not so well. And students who have positive experiences in the online classroom, and students who have negative experiences, just like in a traditional classroom. So it's up to us.
Yeah, I personally feel that, when you are teaching on ground and you take the same model to online, it doesn't work.
That's right.
Okay, so you have to have a different set of minds, and you have to change your mindset to teach online. And then you can be more effective. And I feel that, yes, students can learn as long as the professor is effective enough to teach.
That's right. That's right. There was.
Ask you a personal question?
Sure.
After the discussion here. It's a nice intellectual exercise, training and to differentiate between training and education. I think the swimming pool example is a particularly bad one in this context. But are you personally serious to establish a strict distinction between training and education?
No.
Aren't they always intertwined?
No. I think they have to be intertwined.
Perhaps you could
I think they have to be.
differentiate them by source. Training education are the same. One is done by an industry for employees. One is done by society for undergraduates.
But I don't think they're the same. But I think in
How
the
do they differ? You're both teaching skills. You're both giving projects. You're both getting a grade. I mean, how do they?
But it's the end. I think it's the end product. Training, a lot of times in corporate training, for instance, you've got compliance training. You need to do the blah, blah, blah training for this year again. Okay, fine. Sit there, click through the buttons, get through it. It's not at all even related to education at all. But within the scope of education, we do have a training piece that can, go along the road with as part of the education, where they travel down the same path, and students have to get both to be successful. Does that help?
How about the precise separation, differentiation I made? Because it's extremely precise and logical. Training is one of the mean of education.
Yes.
So according to the logic of mean and ends, the differentiation is extremely precise.
ending on this slide?
By example, this is another way of
Oh, wait, the end,
conveying by
darling.
example.
That's what I need
So
to know.
there is a lot of means, but they cannot
So-
be confused with the end.
It's like Dewey in Democracy in Education. And Dewey said that you've got to have the practice along with the theory. And that's the only way education's really going to work, and it's democracy in education.
So
And that, so it,
I'm going to end here.
so that gets into his thing that you've got to have the practice as a nut.
I'm going to end here to allow my colleague to present. So just because training and education are different, this in no way suggests one is better than the other. Would you want, the doctor, the pilot, the dentist, somebody who's not trained? No, of course not. So that's where I'm going to end. And I'll put my presentation online for everyone to see the rest. I gave you some handouts with some things to think about. Okay? So thank you very much.
No, thank you.
And thank you for entertaining.
You allowed us, to have this conversational session in your half an hour.
One
Thank you.
question, have
Yeah.
you just trained us or educated us?
That's a good one.
I think she exercised us.
Exercise that.
Yeah.
Well, you used your mind and you walk away with something, thinking about systems thinking about concepts. It's got to be
The sir had
education.
a question, I had to ask it at this
Okay.
time.
Okay. Thank you very much.